This podcast is brought to you by Australia's LGBTQIA+ community media organisation, Joy. Keep Joy on air by becoming a member, a subscriber or donate. Head to joy.org.au. Joy, a diverse sound for a diverse community.
And hello, and welcome to Still Here, Still Queer. I'm Pete, and today's episode is all about growing old and growing prouder. Isn't that a wonderful topic? Now, getting older is something we all share, but for those of us in the LGBTQIA+ community, it carries its own rhythm. A mix of joy, resilience, and hard-won pride. We've survived, we've celebrated, we've changed the world a little, and we're still here, still queer, and still fabuloso, for sure. Joining me today are two brilliant people who've lived and laughed through decades of queer history. Yes, we've all lived through decades in this room. I'm 71, I turned 71 yesterday, and so I've lived through quite a few decades of queer history. We have Phil Hinkins. Hello, Phil.
Hello. And
I'll turn your mic on. Now you can say hello.
now I can hear myself say hello. That's another sign of aging. Forgetting microphones.
It is. Hello, Phil. And Bartley McGowan. Hello, Bartley.
Hello, Pete. Hello, Phil. Hello, listeners.
And we all, that's the first sign, we all remembered each other's names. It's easy to forget names when you get older. And together we're going to explore what ageing means to us, how we stay strong, how we stay connected, and what kind of legacy we want to leave behind. So pour a cuppa, settle in, and let's begin. But before we dive in, here's a little icebreaker. And so you out there can also say in to the show. I want to know, well, we want to know, what's one thing that's got better for you as you've grown older? Yeah, say it again. What's one thing that's got better for you as you've grown older? Maybe it's your confidence, your cooking, your knitting, your style, or your ability to spot trouble and leave early. Any of those. Send us a message right now, 0427 Joy 949, or email on air at joy.org.au. We'd love to hear your stories.
Yes, we want your answers.
We do. We need your answers.
We're here to learn.
How old are you, Bartley?
I am 74.
74, and how about you, Phil?
I'm the pup. I'm 65 and 362, 3-4 days. Next
so
Saturday
almost
it
66.
ticks over.
Yeah, okay. 2 birthdays in this month. So it's good we've got plenty of decades of experience here to draw on. And even though some of us might have come out a bit later, I came out at 36, but that's still 35 years. What about you, Bartley? When did you come out?
Probably late 30s.
Okay.
Getting 40-ish, yep.
Yep. What about you, Phil?
Officially and publicly, probably at 50, but I was never into people who needed to know.
Okay. So since
I had
a
a pretty
teenager.
big closet. Yeah.
Okay. Only containing all the people you knew.
Well,
who knew?
My gay friends and I were quite happy not to share it with anyone else.
Okay.
Which
Yep.
is it's none of their business.
Yep. Fair
Well,
enough.
And then one day it became their business. So I came out.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into it. So we're going to have a discussion format today. So we'll just I'll just ask a question and then we'll have a bit of a discussion, and then we'll play a song. After we've finished with this little bit, we probably won't get very deeply into it because we've only got a few 12 or 13 minutes to talk about each topic, but hopefully we'll get there. So growing older means something different to everyone. Sometimes it's liberation, sometimes it's confronting, and sometimes, well, it's just a new pair of glasses or extra dental work. Phil and Bartley, when you think about aging, what comes to mind first about getting old?
Well,
who wants to start? Bartley,
for me,
go for it.
I look on it that I keep growing no matter what age I am. I keep developing. I keep stretching myself. I keep learning. I've just recently enrolled in a U3A course in astrophysics.
Wow.
And I've got no idea of astronomy or physics, but I'm really interested and I want to learn. And it's really good.
Fantastic. What about you, Phil?
I'm not planning on going to Mars, so I won't need that course. I've found that I make noises when I sit down that I never used to make in my youth. And everybody knows the noises. I'm sure they have a name, but it's not a groan, it's not a grunt, is it satisfaction or relief that you actually got to sit down? It's like, ugh.
I make them when I get up too.
Well, that's a different noise.
It's like a...
That's right. Oh, gravity.
Yes, gravity seems heavier when you're older, doesn't it?
The gravity's pretty strong around here, so we just have to get used to it.
Yep. So what else does ageing mean to you? Bartley, you look expectant there.
I think for me it's a process of keep coming out. You know, just in the last couple of years I've extended that enormously so, and letting people know in all sorts of different forums and settings, yes, I'm a gay, queer man. I think for me that's a lovely part of growing old, feeling comfortable about that. And, yeah.
And for me too, it's about being in my skin, my queer skin, my
nice
out and proud skin. And I've really learned how to do that over the years, and I'm very proud of who I am and about my sexuality and what it means to me. So I think that's something that's come with age. I don't think I was really there until I was probably in my 50s or 60s, really. But no, in my 40s when I went into my relationship with my beautiful husband. That's probably when it was probably in my 40s. So that was a wonderful time, and that made me come out to my family and do all sorts of other things because I wanted to spend my life with this person. So yeah,
you acknowledge the stability and love and the good feeling that you get because you're gay. It's no longer a problem. It can be society's problem, but doesn't bother you anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
And earlier on, I guess you get...
I think that's an important point, because it is like, who cares what other people think? That's kind of that.
Yeah. It is acceptance, but it's just the fact that it's your life. You don't need some society or church or law, which in our early days, we were all lawbreakers.
Absolutely.
Or potential lawbreakers.
Yeah. And in many countries, we still are.
Well, yeah. So, just back off, world. This is my life, and it's good. But early on, you got bigger battles. You can't just... Well, maybe some people can. Good luck to them. But
I think it's probably different these days, a bit different, not totally, but a bit different now than it was, easier now than it was when all of us were working toward it, because it was illegal, etc.
yeah.
What do you think about that? Did you find it difficult because society was against you as well?
Well, society and religion. I was raised strictly Catholic, so that was a big hurdle for me to overcome. And very conservative parents. So, yeah, but I think it's great to be alive now for young and old, because the landscape has completely changed.
Yep.
Much more openness and acceptance.
But doesn't that sort of prove the fact that your upbringing didn't affect who you were or who you want to be with? Otherwise, you'd be what the church told you to be or what your parents told you to be. You became you despite that.
Eventually.
Well, it's going to take as long as it takes.
Yes.
But as long as you get there.
Yes.
And that's, if you're going to get into the nature versus nurture, nurture didn't do it.
No. And I guess that's a good point, because we did it. We came out and we were who we were despite the force of society and the forces
of evil,
parents and the force of all sorts of things.
Mr. Sinatra said it well.
Yeah, fighting against that.
I did it my way.
You do. Do you want to give us a rendition? No.
I'd love to. You wouldn't love to hear it.
All right. Well, that's we've run out of time for our first topic. That's amazing. It goes very quickly, doesn't it? So that's a beautiful start, though. So growing older, though, isn't about fading out, is it?
Oh, it's the opposite.
Yeah. It's about coming into yourself,
I guess
really.
At some point you fade away.
Yeah.
But we can't stop that.
Yeah. And it's about turning to who we've become.
Still here, still queer. We'll tell you what to do.
And you are on Still Here, Still Queer. And it's me, Pete, and we're discussing growing older today. I've got Phil Hinkins and Bartley McGowan in the studio with me, and they're talking about their experiences of growing older. Older, we'll say.
Older, yeah, not old.
Not old. And so now one thing keeps us thriving as we age. It's, especially in the queer world, is community. So let's talk about community now. Our chosen families, our friendships, those safe spaces that let us keep being our weird, wonderful selves. So Phil and Bartley, how have you seen community evolve over time, and how has it supported you in your aging process?
I'm not so
or
much...
if it has.
Well, I'm not unique, but in my youth, I didn't have a community. I was the only gay in the village, so to speak, and wasn't into nightclubs or bars or anything anyway. So if I was straight, I still wouldn't have gone. So I don't think I got involved in the community until I arrived here at Joy.
Okay.
And that's become a second home. It's a safe place. No shortage of like-minded people. And it's a community radio station. How more community can you get?
Exactly. And a lot of people who come to Joy feel that way as well. And me too. I came after I retired, but it certainly gave me a different community to the one I had before. I've been a member of it for 30 years, but before I came along and volunteered. Right. So it gave me a totally different perspective.
Yeah, I had gay friends, and they come and go, especially in your younger years. People relocate a lot. But I ended up meeting a partner in Hawaii and living together in California. So, and we were just living over there as a couple.
Right.
We didn't say we were gay. Nobody asked. He was my plus one everywhere.
Yeah. And
that community just accepted us as we were. So
what did that mean to you?
He was from Guam and I was from Melbourne, so we were both a long way away from our families who we were not out to. So we could just be ourselves. It was a wonderful feeling.
So that's interesting about community. It just lets you be yourself, really, doesn't it? If you're in the right community.
And you're not hiding from anyone. Well, being gay, hiding is how you survive when you're younger, in my younger days.
Yeah.
I know it's better now because I speak to a lot of younger gay people, and a lot of them have come out to me, either with a little rainbow flag badge, which it's a quick story at Safeway. A guy who'd been serving me for a long time turned up one day with a rainbow flag on. And I said, "Do you know what that means?" And he looked at me and said, "Do you know what that means?" And that's how we came out to each other.
Yeah.
And I think he was 21 and I was my age.
Yeah.
That would never have happened in my youth.
No. Time has changed, moved on.
Things are improving.
How about you, Bartley? Community, how has that influenced you?
I take a really broad view of this. Like yes, I'm a proud member of the queer community, but I would like to think everyone is my community, gay, straight, everything in between. The young, the old, in between. I really do have that mindset. And at this stage in my life, in my 70s, I do feel really connected, more so than I have for many other periods of my life. So I'm very
to lots of
that.
Communities.
Yeah, to lots of different communities, yeah.
What sort of communities are you connected to?
I'm involved with the local reconciliation group, for example, Justice for First Nations People. That's a very thriving community here in my local municipality in Melbourne. Wonderful people all working on this goal. And the other big community is Professor Camilleri. Professor Joseph Camilleri is a retired La Trobe Uni professor who taught in international relations, and he just keeps teaching and teaching and teaching, even in his 80s, really wanting the world to work better and better communication. And I just feel very strongly committed to him and his team. Yeah.
What about the issue? What about the concept of chosen family? How do we fit into that?
Yeah, I sort of look at every interaction as a possible point of connection. Everyone, like people in the shop, people in the post office, people serving us in cafes, medical staff, and I have a lot of medical staff in my life, but I always try and interact with them as a potential good connection. So, yeah.
That's another joy with growing old. You get more contact with the medical side of things.
That's right. Yeah.
But you also,
And you count your pills every morning. Oh, how many have I got today to take?
but you also treat, I guess you might have seen them as service providers earlier on, that if you're seeing them frequently, they become friends and I guess family to a degree.
Yes, I
And
agree.
in my case, where my family have told me where to go, I'll seek family wherever I can find it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fine.
And medical practitioners are, if you get the right ones, they're very, and they get to know you, then they're just another person in your community. What about chosen families? Did you have one, Bartley?
Chosen family.
Meaning a family that's
Yes.
sort of supportive of you, but sort of outside of a lot of LGBTQIA people have
Yeah.
chosen families.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I do have like a core group of friends who I regard as my chosen family, but I'm actually on fairly good terms with my own birth family. I feel I get a lot of support from siblings and nieces and nephews, and also from the wider chosen people that come into my life. So, yeah, I feel. Family-wise, I feel good.
And I know for me, chosen family has been very, very important through my life. So it's sort of people surrounding me who support me and know me and love me for who I am, and have no expectations that I'm going to change and become straight again or, do whatever is expected. So they see me as me, including being out, including being married to my lovely husband. And I think that chosen family, as I get into my 60s and 70s, my sphere of knowing people and mixing with people has reduced massively. So I think I'm much more interested in people who I can have a deep relationship with now than to have a lot of shallow relationships in venues and, things like that. So that's another thing. That's a really interesting thing that's happened to me as I got older.
Do you find your in-laws became family? Did they just take you in, or is that an issue?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Because my unofficial in-laws didn't know I was the partner. So I was the token Aussie in the family. So I was special because I sounded different.
Yeah.
And my partner was the same. He was the American in our family, and he came out here and he was quite the celebrity.
Yeah, of course.
And if only they knew.
And I came out to my parents through Tim when I married him. I thought at that point, well, this is the time when I hadn't married him then, because we couldn't do that for years later. But when I partnered up with him and was living with him, I decided that was the time and introduced him to my parents and said, I want Tim to come to Christmas, our Christmas lunch. And he was a bit in trepidation about that, but he came along and they invited him. And then it took years for them to send us, my parents, they then decided to send him a Christmas card as well, but he'd get a separate one. And a few years in, all of a sudden it changed to we both got one.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
It sort of meant that
took time, though.
they'd kind of worked through the issues and accepted him as my partner for life. So it's interesting how that happened. So that led to him coming into my parents accepting too.
Well, my partner came out the first Christmas after we'd met. I think we met in August. And I'm convinced that my whole family loved him more than they loved me. I guess because he was a novelty. And he was just one of those horrible people that everybody just likes, which I've never had that affliction. And he always had a story to tell, and he was just... I don't think they were all attracted to him the way I was, but it was fun to sit back and just watch them love him as much as I did, yet have my little secret that, if you knew who he was, would you still like him?
Yeah.
And they never had to confront that
when he's 64. Yeah.
Well,
Bartley, what about queer spaces that celebrate older people? Have you ever been in any of those sort of things? I know you came along to a group here in the Pride Centre recently.
Yes, well, the Pride Centre and another organisation called Prime Life, I think, they did try to set up a social group for older queer peoples, and I was very interested. I signed up and came along to the introductory afternoon, and I actually met, as part of that process, I met someone, and we're not dating. We're not dating, but we catch up socially, and that was a lovely discovery for me that if we do come to these places for older queer people and you just interact with people, and I'm very curious about people, then friendships develop, and I'm pleased to say that initiative is ongoing, and they're going to try and pick that up again. So I'll be totally supporting that, and my new friend will be totally supporting that.
I think I know the date of that. It's the 29th.
Is it?
And it's at the Pride Centre again.
Yeah, be good.
I'll be there this time. So, yeah, it's that isolation issue comes up too, because that's quite can be quite prevalent amongst older LGBTQIA plus people who expect, they have this expectation that you have to go to nightclubs and do all this sort of stuff,
or they think
to meet people and stuff. But
meeting people's a young person's game. Well,
yeah, that's right.
Why should it be?
Absolutely,
it's not.
Yeah, yeah.
But you've got to find the venues.
Yeah,
where these people actually are.
That's right, and that's a problem.
So all listen to Joy.
Yeah, all listen to Joy, and we'll tell you where they are.
Well, when we know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we better go to a little break now. But we had 2 messages in, or 3 messages in. Do you want to read them out, Phil?
Oh, I've got a message here from Jason from Mooralbach, which I got all those O's in there. He says, I've discovered that I have a crush on men. I think they are sexy and they turn me on.
Fantastic.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club, Jason.
You don't need a membership card.
What was the next one?
Now, here's a more personal one, and it's Dear Pete, happy birthday and congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It's Damien who sent it in, so
yes,
thank you, Damien.
I'll read the next part of that sentence because he says, congratulations on being 71 years old.
No, he doesn't. He says young.
Oh,
you
young.
misread it.
That's
71
my own
years
bias
young.
there. And
all right.
Hello, other beautiful guests. That's myself and my esteemed colleague. I'll say
hello, you
right,
two.
but it's radio. Nobody knows where we're sitting. Yes, growing old and growing prouder is a beautiful thing. Things that got better as I've got older, worrying less about things and loving more fully. Good words,
thank you very much, Damien.
Lovely.
That's a great contribution.
Lovely.
Yeah. And we got one more.
One more. I can sort of relate to this one. As a senior, I dread being invited to a party. I much prefer to read a book and do some drawing. And that's from Grant.
Mm.
That's That's a personal preference.
It is.
I'm not a party person, but I think a venue like the Pride Centre, where that's not a party,
Caters for everyone.
it's a resource that I think we should all be proud of and use.
And I think I used to go to parties and do all sorts of things, but now I'm not so interested in that. I'm interested in small groups or being alone and reading. I need more alone time as I'm getting older. What about you, Bartley?
I recently attended a family wedding. My 42-year-old nephew got married to his long-term partner, and that's the first time I've been to a big social event like that for years, and I really enjoyed it, and I discovered I can still dance.
Oh, fantastic.
That was fun.
Still here, still queer. Rainbowing out the wrinkles.
Yes, we're rainbowing out the wrinkles here on Still Here, Still Queer. And we're looking at the topic of growing older and growing prouder tonight. And it's a bit of a discussion group, so that's fantastic. And we had one more message in, Phil. Do you want to read that out?
It's again from Damien, who says...
Oh, hello, Damien, again.
Well, that's not his last name. What a great program tonight, chaps.
Chaps.
Are we chaps? I guess we're chaps.
If we go to the lead, we might have them on. No, go ahead.
No, we're not wearing chaps. Again, this is radio. Don't make an image for yourselves, people. Bartley, how fab about your twinkle toes dancing skills. You are sitting still right now, I need to point out.
He might give us a little dance before the end.
Well, we'll have to describe it. Anyway, Phil, beautiful about your family, loving your partner as much as you. Oh, no, okay, I've read that the correct way this time. Yes, they loved him more than they loved me, but they loved him as much as I loved him, so that's fair. And he says, thanks for sharing. So thank you, Damien, for sharing back.
Yes, exactly. Well, we've got another topic now, a speed topic. It's like speed dating, this, isn't it?
Yes.
The next little topic is health, identity and resilience. And as we grow older, our health, physical, mental and emotional, becomes part of our story. And we touched on a little bit earlier as well, of course, with medical practitioners. And for LGBTQIA people, that journey has its own challenges and triumphs. Phil and Bartley, how do you look after yourselves and what keeps you feeling strong and proud in a fitness kind of way and in a mental health kind of way? Bartley, do you want to start off?
Sure. I think I try and maintain a positive attitude to life. View things optimistically. Yes, we have setbacks, particularly with health, but after a little grieving period, I tend to reframe that and think of all the things that I still can do and how my body functions. What else do I do to keep myself sane? I'm really discovering recently the power of hugs. I was brought up in a family where there was no hugs.
I remember
father
that.
used to handshakes, and that was it.
That's why you had a dog.
But
Cat for us. Yeah.
But I've really overturned that now. And in many of my little social groupings, I am the networker of hugs. I hold out my arms and indicate I would like to have a hug with you. What else do I do? I think I try and see joy. It's funny, we're on the Joy media radio program, but I do think there's a lot of joy in life, and we just have to be open to it, both in our own lives and the lives of others around us. And can I just tell a quick little story?
Yeah, go ahead.
The other day
Stories
in Melbourne,
are welcome.
The other day in Melbourne, travelling on the tram down Collins Street, a bridal party got on the tram, a full bridal party, a bride, a groom, and 3 bridesmaids.
Are you sure you weren't in a limo?
No, it was definitely on the Melbourne tram, and I was just so happy. The bridal couple looked gorgeous; they looked so happy, and I spoke to the bridesmaid beside me, and just it was just lovely. And before I left the tram, I went up to the bridal couple; they were sitting down, and said, really complimented them and how wonderful they looked. And after I left the tram, I thought, I would have really liked to have played a song. On the iPhones, you can draw up any song you like. Yeah. And the song I had in my mind was Bruno Mars, I Think I Want to Marry You.
So, I'm sure they would have been ecstatic about playing that.
I think it would have been okay, and maybe
Yeah.
I could have got the whole tram
Dancing.
involved in waving hands and.
With your little dance, your newfound love of dancing.
That's right. So I think joy. There's a lot of joy, and boy, I really want to embrace it.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
I would have checked to see if they had a valid Mikey. or were they in the free tram zone?
That's right. We were in the free tram zone.
And it might have been during seniors week, so you didn't need to have a mic. But it is interesting that Joy is, it's the name of the radio station as
Yes.
well. And of course, it was founded in a time when there was a lot of terrible things happening in our community with AIDS, HIV, and people dying. And the idea behind it, and I've spoken to member number one about that as well. The idea behind it was that it would bring a little joy into people's lives when they were in this difficult time through joyful music, uplifting music, etc. So it was. It's interesting that even going back into the 90s when Joy was founded, it was about finding those moments of joy. And in amongst anything else that's going on, whether it be getting old, whether it be a friend dying, whether it be grief, you could still find a moment of joy. And I don't think you need Joy Radio to do that, but there's always a mix of emotions, isn't there?
Yes.
Grief is... you can also have joy at the same time as having grief, and I think it comes as you get older. They're not boxes, you can have multiple of them at once. You can be feeling joyful even though you're at a funeral and talking to friends and things like that, as well as feeling the grief of that as well.
And Joy Radio at that time would have been the only contact with community for the patients isolated out at Fairfield.
Absolutely.
So, and that's why we're here. That's how we started. So
And it gave them a little bit of joy too.
yeah.
Yeah, to hear it. What about you, Phil? We're talking about health, physical
things.
and mental and emotional.
I guess, I've been a type 2 diabetic for the last 15 years. And in the last 10 months, I've actually found a supply of Ozempic, which I've been trying to get for years and years and years, but just because you've got the condition that it treats doesn't mean that you get the drug. So I'm actually in better shape now than I've been for probably 15 years. I've lost a lot of weight. The arthritis in my knee doesn't rule my life anymore. And getting older has actually improved things, which I wouldn't have seen coming.
And I came down with prostate cancer some time back, and 5 years ago, and I'm okay at the moment. But I go along to a fitness class every weekend, twice a week, put on at the centre for prostate cancer, and that is fantastic. And you get to meet other people who are going through the same thing, talk to them, discuss it with them while you're doing fitness exercises, and it's a wonderful thing that we do. And then I meet up with some of them afterwards for lunch. So it's like you can build communities around that too, communities of friends.
And it's again being the only one in the village.
That's
when
right.
You're suffering, if you don't know these other people, you're going to stress yourself out because who can you talk to about it?
Yeah, exactly.
And finding those groups, that's massive. That's wonderful.
And they've helped with my mental health as well. Indeed, they have a psychologist there who I've been to several times when I've been feeling about, having the low bits that come with having cancer. They actually they have a psychologist there you can go and talk to.
I remember a counsellor once told me words to the effect, this is not a direct quote of anybody sitting in this room, it's time to come out or you'll drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, it's very true.
And it did help.
Yeah,
you find out who your friends are.
Yep.
You find out who your family were, in my case, and that doesn't matter. It's just a better place to be.
Yep. And we had another message in too. Do you want to read that one?
This is a long
from
one.
Robbie.
This is from Robbie. He says, I must say that I'm enjoying your maturity on maturity. I'm not too sure. Are we being that mature? I guess we are.
We're having a laugh along with it.
As I now live out of the Melbourne area, isolation has become a real well, a very real thing. Pushing myself to get out is a daily thing. Feel good by the fact that I'm older than you. I'm never guilty of my age as I'm still here.
Yeah.
Such a good show you have,
Yes.
Robbie.
Thank you, Robbie, for your message. Yes, age is in the mind, really, isn't it?
And you don't have to act your age.
No, you don't.
I'll never be guilty of that because I'm now older than my dad was when I thought he was really, really old.
Yeah.
And he made it to 96. So...
And I remember only planning to live till I was 40. When I was in my 20s or 50, I couldn't think any further ahead of that.
My
Here I
partner
am, 71.
I had a wake when I was 30.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
A gay wake.
From your friends.
Yeah, well, from my partner and his friends. And they thought it was hilarious. I still don't fully understand why, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm still here.
And what about you, Bartley? Physical and mental health?
Yeah, I think I draw a lot of sustenance from nature. I really enjoy being in nature, looking at trees, looking at gardens, just having quiet solitude time, playing music, sort of nourishing myself with all
Has
those
that
things.
grown over the years, or have you always like that? It's certainly grown for me, the alone time and the, time with nature. And
To a certain extent, yeah. I think it has increased in the last bit of
I
my
have to
time.
ask, your newfound love of hugging
Yes.
and your love of trees, are you a tree hugger?
I'm pretty close to it.
Because I think trees would like that. I think they would appreciate that.
I can sit in front of a tree and just admire it and let it soak into my spirit for a long
fantastic.
time.
And if they could talk, I mean, you look at a mature tree who's been there maybe 100 years or more,
Yeah.
think what they've seen.
yeah.
And I do put my hands on the tree trunk, so I do that. But
Close to a hug?
I haven't gone into the full hug yet.
Well, you don't want to scare them.
That's right.
All right. So I think we're running out of time. So we'll go into the last topic, which is legacy. What do you think you want to leave as a legacy? It's interesting as we get older, we start thinking about that. What do we want to leave as our legacy? What about you, Bartley?
That was a great question. I'd never really thought about that before, ever. And a simple answer came to my mind that, I try and approach the world with kindness and warmth and compassion, and I find that comes back to me 100-fold. And so my legacy would be that when people think about me, they think, yeah, Bartley was a kind, compassionate person. And I'd be very happy just with that legacy.
What about you, Phil, while I think of mine?
I hadn't really thought of it either, but I think my legacy is, because I've come through some hard times, the fact that I've gotten to the point where I am getting old. If I can do it, anybody can. And that is a legacy. It's nothing grand. It's proof of subject.
Yep, definitely.
If you don't give up, life can be good beyond 30.
And for me, as I've aged, I've got more in touch with my spiritual side, not religious side, because that's a different concept, but the spiritual side that says that there's things bigger than me. And I've started work on myself and looking at myself on the inside, and learning about the inside of me has been an extraordinary journey for me. So I've learned all about the inside of me through experience, through my spiritual experiences, and I love that as well, that I am now open to the inside of me. I used to hate it and be scared of it and fearful of even going inside myself. So and I've discovered things like you, Bartley, compassion, strength, joy, love, all those things through looking inside myself. So it's a really important thing to actually look inside yourself and challenge the things that are there, the fear that was left over from childhood, etc. So, yeah, I've learned a lot about myself through that. And I hope my legacy is that I'll be remembered for knowing all those things about myself, I guess, and sharing them with others.
Yeah, and as you mature I don't know if it's a gay thing, because in your younger years, or certainly our younger years, we were a threat and we were under threat.
Yep.
So you tend to see a dark side of life to survive.
Yep.
As you get older, it's sort of that matters less, and you seek the love and friendship and compassion and all those things, which have been there all along. But you're just more sensitive to them, or you find them, or they're worth more now than they were. And that's a good thing to take with you.
Yeah. And how about love? How have you enjoyed that? Not so much love of other people, love of yourselves.
I've never understood that.
I know that I've learned that over the past, since I got older. I didn't know that. I didn't understand it when I was younger, but
we were taught in our family, if you love yourself, you must be up yourself.
Oh.
So that term has always bothered me, and I've never really understood how that could be a good thing.
Yeah. How about you, Bartley?
I think I'm getting better at it. Still got a way to go. Much better.
It's okay. Yeah. It's a life's work to learn that.
And even to say the word love is still difficult for me, even to my brother, who I do love dearly, Michael. It's still hard. And it shouldn't be, but it is hard. I've got lots of friends who I love dearly, but somehow I can't tell them that. So that's the next stage of my development.
And our parents, I'm sure at some point they told me they loved me, but we weren't the Brady Bunch who, every night, like the Waltons, good night, John Boy, I love you, Mum. We never used that word. I think we loved the dog.
Yeah.
But it was just not the terminology used, and I hope, I know that's changed over time. Yeah, I guess that's not just our maturity, that's the world growing up. And I love it.
Well, it's time for me to say thank you for the two of you for coming in. So thank you, Phil, and thank you, Bartley, for sharing your insights on these matters. As you can see, we got a few messages in that were saying, that they were learning things off this show. So it was great.
And nice to know people are listening.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for listening, everyone. And we'll see you next week with another topic here on Still Here, Still Queer. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Pete. Bye. Thank you, Phil. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to another Joy podcast, brought to you by Australia's LGBTQIA+ community media organisation, Joy. Help us keep Joy on air. Head to joy.org.au. Joy, a diverse sound for a diverse community.